Good morning, good morning. Last segment of the day. All y'all lifestyle. About to dive into some welcome home beef. You're listening to the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Hope you're doing well. Good show today. Some good guests, great topics. Week 2 of the Southeastern Conference. And more NFL on the way with Dak and the Cowboys hosting NFL Chuck's Cleveland Browns. Blake, you want to call that game, or are your Cowboys going to come through?
Yeah, they're going to win.
I'm already ready to trade Kellen Moore and Zeke Elliott.
I don't disagree with the Zeke thing. I actually was surprised as we dove through the numbers, or I did, and Steve, what he said. The offense has actually played better than I thought. It's been more efficient than I thought. It's just like he said, when your defense is that atrocious, your margin for error is 0. And so I think they're going to get through the Browns. If they lose to the Browns, I'll reassess my situation.
Do you know how
much I'll cry if we lose to the Browns? Yeah.
Well, I mean, Chuck Mullins, CoxwellLaw.com, big Cleveland Browns fan. NFL Chuck will be all over us.
Hot garbage.
At 3 o'clock on Sunday, if Baker Mayfield and the Browns
turn my phone
beat
off.
the Cowboys and Dak turn my phone off.
I'm not letting Chuck text me. It ain't happening.
You can block him.
That's right. I will. I may block him on Twitter just for the weekend.
Oh, man.
We'll see. Look, I'll tell you this much. The Cowboys are the quintessential, as he said, as Steve Palazzo said earlier, and it's on the podcast, the quintessential Big 12 team. They get behind early. They've got to make a lot of plays to get back, and it's like you have to play so well just to get back in the conversation of winning the ball game that it makes winning that much harder.
Right.
You just can't start that way.
Well, it's sloppy.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Did Mike McCarthy forget how to coach?
I don't
his year
think,
off or two? Was it 1 or 2?
1 year off. It's
okay.
It's the defensive side of the football. I mean, they're just bad.
No, yeah, but Tony Pollard's special teams blunder.
Oh, and I agree. And John Fassel's arguably one of the top special team coaches. I mean, people say that about him. Nothing to do with the Cowboys or the Rams, just across the NFL.
I wonder if that's Jim Fassel's son.
I don't know, but he's with the Rams forever, and I just, the special teams play through 3 weeks has been poor. Absolutely. And it's all overshadowed by an incredible onside kick, but it's a 0.01% recovery.
Right.
Like, I mean, like we said to Steve, they should be 0-3.
Well, no, I don't know about that. They had a chance against the Rams.
I understand, but I'm saying in terms of what's actually played out, you can't control the flag against the Rams.
Right.
The onside kick is they could kick that every game and not recover another one.
That's a great point.
Is what I'm saying.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they should have never been. I mean, the Falcons blew two 15-point leads.
You make a good point. The Dallas Cowboys Atlanta Falcons game was an anomaly.
You will never win that game again.
Okay.
I mean, the Falcons did something that the NFL's never seen. That's blow 2 fourth-quarter 15-point leads back-to-back. It's never even happened in the same season for one team, let alone in back-to-back weeks. So what the Atlanta Falcons did is probably more about the Falcons and less about the Cowboys. Because Dak's played that way through 3 games. He's played as a top passer. I mean, Steve said he's the seventh-rated passer in the league, and he leads the league in passing yards. And they're one of the most efficient and fast-working offenses in the league.
Is that good, though? I saw what you tweeted out yesterday.
They're in the elite category, according to PFF stats. The speed
Do you need to be going that fast?
But it's as long as you're creating the yards per play, and that's what they are. See, there's fast and good.
I was looking at some of the teams that are winning that aren't doing that.
I understand. But the Titans were a 1980s team last year, and they made it the AFC Championship game. That doesn't mean, as Steve said, it's the most efficient way to do it.
Okay.
Passing is the efficient way to play.
Cowboys a 4.5-point favorite.
Saints 4-point favorite over the Lions.
Saints 4-point favorite over the Lions and Drew. And Dak and the Cowboys 4.5 over Baker Mayfield and the Browns.
That's right.
Sweet. All right. We're about to welcome in a special guest in studio. Real quick, though. Ashley's in studio running our social media. We would love for you to follow us on Instagram at y'all_lifestyle. At y'all_lifestyle. And we've got some great pics that are going to go out on this delicious, beautiful welcome home beef meat out of Starkville, Mississippi. And you can go to welcomehomebeef.com to see everything that they're doing. But here's what's cool. They can ship to your doorstep. So if you're listening in Brandon, Madison, Hattiesburg, Atlanta, boom, they can ship to you. And as Blake said, one of his friends who's a doctor ordered Welcome Home Beef online in North Carolina. So we'd like to welcome in one of the owners, Will Sanders, with Welcome Home Beef, and Will and his team were kind enough to cook some delicious food. Will, good morning, buddy. How are you?
Good, Bo. Great to be here. Thanks for having us.
Well, thank you for driving down from Starkville and cooking some delicious meat. What do we? Well, first, should we go with what we have in front of us?
Let's do what we have in front of us, and then
we'll tell the story.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So, what do we have that you cooked for us today?
So we have a great whole tenderloin, a whole strip loin, and a picanha. Now, the whole tenderloin is just your filet. That's your center cut. So we have a whole one of those that we cooked, a whole strip loin, which is going to be your New York strip steak. And then we have a real interesting cut. It's called a picanha, and not a lot of people know about this cut, and it's the top part of the sirloin. It's called the top butt cap in the United States, and it's a really popular steak in Brazil that you can actually slow cook. And it's unbelievable. So those are the three cuts I got today.
Dude, first off, if you're watching the video on Out of Bounds Sports on YouTube or the Out of Bounds Show on Facebook, that meat is as good as it looks. It is fantastic. So
I'm good now. I just took a bite, but go ahead.
I want to talk about the picanha because that's the one that you said.
I love that name too.
Yeah, it sounds exotic. It tastes incredible. It looks like somewhat of a prime rib when you cut it.
Yes.
But it's not. It's a top sirloin, and you said it's a Brazilian cut. Now, I've been to like Foca de Chao and Texas Day, Brazil. I don't remember that one on the menu.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's just really popular in Brazil, and not a lot of people in the States really know about it, and we've really kind of grown it in Starkville. You know, we're telling people about it. They come in, they say, hey, you know, I want something for the smoker besides a brisket. And we tell them about this picanha, and it just, you know, we really can't keep it in stock now because everybody loves it so much. It's affordable, and it's a great cut of meat.
Is that how you mostly cook it, is smoke it, or what's the...
That's mostly how you cook it. It's going to be a slow cook, and you're definitely going to want to smoke it.
Ooh.
It's very good. It's very good.
I may be out for the rest of the segment as I take bite number 2 from Welcome Home Beef.
Yeah, just cutting that meat, it was like butter. I mean, it looks good. All right, so Will, tell us about Welcome Home Beef. Now, we have had this discussion on and off air about you guys. You know, y'all are a butcher shop, but more than a butcher shop because you do stuff that, like you said, the picanha. I mean, that's something you're not going to find anywhere else. So kind of tell us how you got into Starkville and how Welcome Home Beef became an actual store.
Yeah, so my dad and my family have been in the cattle business for about 40 years now, and we've really been talking about doing this for a long time. And my dad actually passed away about a year ago, and we wanted to continue the business. So what we did was he would buy and sell cattle to his customers. What we decided to do was we decided to do the same thing, but actually feed them ourselves and bring them back here as Mississippi beef. So that's what really makes us unique and different from everybody else is it's actually locally sourced beef that we're bringing back from Nebraska. And that's why we call it Welcome Home Beef. And we're definitely a butcher shop. We can cut to order and all that, but we wholesale too, and we do a variety of things. So that's kind of our story and how we got started.
Welcome Home Beef, Will Sanders on the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Will joins us on the Coors Light guest line, but he's also live in the Bank Plus studio, which is awesome for us, because we are just absolutely getting after some yummy steaks and beef cuts. So y'all have a farm, a cattle farm.
We do not, Bo. We actually, what we do is we buy the cattle from local farmers.
Okay.
And we buy them from the sale barn, and we feed them in Nebraska. Now, it started with the farm. I mean, my dad and my brother, they actually raised the cattle and would ship them out west to customers. So that's kind of where it got started.
Gotcha.
With Sanders Cattle Company. But no, we don't have a farm. We buy from local farmers in the sale barn, and it really helps the local economy.
Yeah. So, and then you ship them out to Nebraska.
Right.
And then you bring them back.
That's right.
It's incredible.
I just think that business model is too cool.
Yeah.
And now they're rolling it into a shop on Main Street, and also WelcomeHomeBeef.com can ship to Madison.
Is that the best way
Absolutely.
to order?
The best way to contact us for shipping is to call us at our number, which is 268-8148. That's really the best way to ship it, just because of the boxes and what we can fit in there. But we can definitely ship nationwide. We just need you to call us and do that.
Okay. What was that number again?
662-268-8148.
We already got people on the text line trying to
I
order
like
some
that.
beef.
And we'll have a website up soon, a Shopify, to where you can actually check out and do all of that. So,
that's the way to do it.
What's the most popular cut so far? I know you guys haven't been
Good
open
question.
too long.
Everybody loves a ribeye and a filet. That's pretty obvious. I would say after that, it's certain things like tri-tip and picanha, different cuts that you can't find anywhere else in the grocery store. So definitely the tri-tip and picanha after ribeyes and fillets.
Located on Main Street
That's right.
in
That's right.
Starkville. So if you're going up for game day today, tomorrow, Saturday, game's not until 6:30. You can stop by Welcome Home Beef in Starkville on Main Street and check out everything that they're doing. Blake and I have had the filet, the strip, the ribeye.
And now all this good stuff right here.
Yeah, but what did I get from Will and his brother last time? It was at the Porterhouse?
I think it was a porterhouse.
It was a couple of porterhouses.
It was.
Yeah, those were phenomenal.
That's the cowboy killer right there.
That's
baby.
right.
The porterhouse, man.
That's the big boy.
Yeah.
Right? That's the offensive line steak.
Okay, I have a question. This is totally off the wall, and obviously I know you guys don't necessarily do this every day, but can you do a tomahawk?
We can do a tomahawk. We don't keep those in stock.
It's more for show. I get that, but I kind of always wanted to do one. I've never actually bought one.
It's
before.
a testosterone thing.
Yeah,
for
it's
dudes.
just about showing how big your bone is.
Well, there we go. Good morning, everybody. Out of bounds, ESPN 105.9 The Zone.
I'm done for the week.
You've been
my
done.
God, I'm on fire.
You know when you were done for the week?
My energy has been up for 2 straight weeks. Don't even.
When KJ Costello,
Had 300 at halftime.
when he connected with Osiris Mitchell with however long, 3 minutes
About
left to
3
go in the
minutes.
game,
Ugh.
you were done for the week.
Inject it straight into my veins, baby.
Yeah.
Are you
And
kidding me?
since then, you haven't been able to function or operate much throughout the
Hey,
week.
it's hard being a member of QBU, but I'm here for it. You know what I'm saying?
Blake is now labeled MSU QBU because of Dak Prescott and KJ Costello.
I mean, what other school has the NFL leader in passing yards and the SEC leading in passing yards? Not any other school other than Mississippi State right now. Let's go.
What if KJ Costello is drafted in the first 2 rounds of the draft and on an NFL team next year along with Dak another one? And
I almost think, given what is unless he gets hurt, if he's healthy all year long, given the way the Leach offense works,
first round pick.
he will be drafted. I'd put all of it on that. Whether or not it's day 2 or day 1 is up for debate. But
First
listen,
2 rounds.
We've heard about it. QBs, it's one of those things. The closer you get to the draft, QB value goes up and up and up and up. And
Right.
it's not because of something they did. It's because NFL teams just lose their mind over QBs.
He'll be the first quarterback, I think, in the history of college, KJ Costello, to have David Shaw's NFL West Coast offense pedigree under his belt and Mike Leach's air raid under his belt.
100%. 100%.
That doesn't happen. So he's run both offenses and both offenses well, which to me, the way the NFL is trending today, they'll love that. You know how much they love David Shaw. I mean, the NFL Network has him on for the NFL draft, and he doesn't even know what's going on.
That's a fact.
But he's obviously a really
they've
good
been trying to
coach.
hire him. NFL teams have been trying to hire him for what feels like a decade.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm with you.
I want you to think about that. KJ Costello is running NFL West Coast offense, and now the air raid.
Yeah, and he's shown you through 1 week that the mic presence is that kind of weird intangible leadership quality that QBs seem to have on the mic.
Mm-hmm.
Not everyone has it, but you can tell when they do, and he seems to have that. Oh, we got an interesting text. Somebody wants to know what part is the tri-tip cut.
Oh, okay. All right. Will Sanders, welcome home beef. Will?
The tri-tip is actually the bottom part of the sirloin. The picanha is the top part of the sirloin of the animal, so it's the bottom part of the sirloin is what the tri-tip is.
Okay.
Interesting. I didn't know there were so many other nuanced cuts of this. Because you hear about it's sirloin, ribeye, fillet. You don't hear about I guess the nuanced parts of the different cuts, which is kind of interesting.
Well, and it's fun. People are doing so many different things today than 10, 20 years ago. Let's go to the Mississippi Ag John Deere Tractor text line, 601-885-ESPN. Ready Teddy says KJ Costello to the Saints. Blakey Blakester?
How would you feel about that?
Well, I want Dak there.
Nope. Nope. He's signing with the Cowboys.
I know.
He's signing with the Cowboys.
I know. But if that can't happen, if Dak can't get married up with the Hall of Fame coach and Sean Payton, then I'll take KJ Costello to the Saints.
That'd
Or
be
Gardner Minshew.
Second straight year the Saints have drafted a Mississippi State quarterback.
That's true. Tommy Stevens is on the practice squad for the New Orleans Saints.
That's right.
Which, by the way, Tommy did a great job in his interview in April or May, whenever we had him on.
Yeah.
Was that after he got drafted? Yeah, it was after he got drafted. He told us the story about Sean Payton calling him.
They came up. They traded to steal him ahead of the Panthers.
Okay.
That's right.
Costello to the Saints.
I mean,
that would be off the chain.
I don't think. I would assume Sean Payton wants to find someone a little bit more NFL ready than a rookie.
Gotcha.
That's just my thought. I don't know that he wants to start with a rookie and have to deal with the growing pains.
So Gardner Minshew.
I think more Gardner because it's cost effective.
Matthew Stafford.
And don't you think Sean's one of the coaches that thinks he can elevate a middle tier QB?
No question.
So like paying a Gardner Minshew is better than paying a Dak Prescott because Sean Payton might think he can get Gardner up to where Prescott is, a top 8, top 10 QB, which is probably all you have to win the NFL.
It is.
I mean, you don't have to be the number 1, 2, or 3 quarterback.
No.
So
who would you have number 1 right now? Would
Patrick
you have
Mahomes
or Russell Wilson?
Patrick Mahomes.
It's close.
And it doesn't help Russell that his system is set up the way it is, that Patrick's is so much flashier. But I just think, man, I don't know. They both make it. Is it splitting hairs? I mean, does it really matter? I think they're both incredible leaders. I guess just for the sake of age, I'll say Mahomes because you'll get him for slightly longer than you will Russell. But, I mean,
they're both great.
Indifferent, yeah.
Then the big debate is third.
Yeah.
Rodgers.
And as you see Lamar struggle in certain games, I think, there's a question to ask. Is Aaron Rodgers a clear-cut number 3?
I think I'd put that tier 1.
Bobby Belt with the NFL Network said there's no difference between, and David Hellman said there's no difference between Aaron Rodgers, Lamar Jackson, and Dak Prescott, excuse me.
You could make that argument.
I mean, they all produce.
You could make that argument. Dak, Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron obviously has the time and like the pedigree put together, the resume
and he's flashy.
Those guys don't have.
He does cool things.
But he's had bad years too. I mean, Aaron has had some tough years. So it's not like he's always a top 4 quarterback in the league.
Right.
But he's having obviously an MVP season this year.
And Dak right now, according to Pro Football Focus, is the number 7 QB after 3 weeks, right?
That's correct.
And they have to win this weekend.
That's correct. They're 1-2.
There's a lot of pressure with the Browns coming in town.
Good thing the NFC East is a dumpster fire.
It is. I didn't get to ask Steve about Carson Wentz, but we'll
have to.
Yeah.
He is the only quarterback in the NFL with a PFF grade under 70 on clean pocket passing. Basically means unpressured throws, he's below 70, which is like below average, well below average.
What in the world has happened with Carson Wentz?
He's got the yips. He can't throw the ball.
Yikes. Like Greg Norman.
Like
Do you remember who that is?
Yes, like Baker Mayfield, perhaps. Some people have said that about Baker.
Right.
Got the quick arm syndrome where he wants to get rid of it too fast.
Out of Bounds, 105.9 The Zone, ESPN, WRKS. We're streaming live on the Out of Bounds radio app. We had John Cohen on the show at 7:30. That'll be on Apple Podcasts. Then we had Steve Palazzolo on the show at 8:30 with the bulk of the discussion around Dak Prescott and the Cowboys sitting at 1-2 and facing the Cleveland Browns this weekend at 12. Not a 3:15, 3:20 game, not a Sunday night game. Cowboys will actually go at noon, which is
rare.
Somewhat rare. Yeah.
Can I ask a question of our friend Will Sanders?
Will Sanders, welcome home beef in Stark, Vegas, Mississippi. Cooked his tail off. And, man, we're throwing up some great-looking pictures. You can go to Facebook, search the Out of Bounds Show. Ashley put a great video up there. You can go to Instagram at y'all_lifestyle. We'll have some stuff there, and we're tagging welcome home beef and so on. Blake, go ahead.
For someone who cooks a lot of steak, but I tend to stay in like the filet ribeye area, I like what you are bringing to light cuts that are, I guess, filet quality, but aren't actual fillets. So for someone like me who dabbles in cooking but not near as experienced, what are like good cuts to try and branch out with that aren't overly, complicated to put together or cook? Because I don't have a smoker. I do most of my cooking on a cast iron skillet.
Ooh. Love a cast iron. You
Yeah.
like cast iron?
I do. I love a cast iron, and he brought up a great point. We as far as filet goes, we have something called a bistro filet or a terrace major, and it's actually the shoulder part of the animal, and it is very similar to a filet. The texture, the taste, the tenderness, and it is half the price of a filet.
Hello.
So that's definitely something, Blake, you can try next
Called a
time.
what?
Hold on.
Bistro filet
Bistro
or
filet.
terrace major.
or terrace major.
Oh man.
Bistro filet.
Okay.
So when you're feeding 12 people,
That's
and you
more-
don't
that's
want to,
the-
especially teenagers like I am and so on, that's right up some people's alley. If you got a dozen people on game day and you want to throw some steaks on the grill, right?
That's perfect. Bistro filet, terrace major, and then buying the whole tenderloin, we actually you get a better price on it by doing that, and you get more meat. So buying like a whole tenderloin is another great way to feed the whole family.
And that's what you have. That's one of the cuts you have, right?
That's one of
Okay.
the cuts I brought.
Will you hold up those two, the ribeye and the strip that you brought?
Look at this. Look at this ribeye.
Boom. Those
And
are
the
so
strip.
thick. I mean, those are massive, massive steaks.
Mm.
Is that normal, or did you just show off for us?
That is normal for Welcome Home Beef. We try to do things a little bit different that you wouldn't find at most of your stores. So that's definitely something that we try to do for our customers is cut those thick steaks like they want.
Oh, how about this? On the Mississippi Ag John Deere tractor text line, Josh A. says, Will just nailed it. Terrace Major, I'm placing an order. You can't find it in grocery stores. Best cut for the money, period.
That's awesome. I love this because it's always about, for me, finding new ways to make steak or like to do steak. And so obviously you guys are providing an opportunity to get cuts that I cannot get at K. Rogers.
Well, and you want to try different things. We're doing so many different things on the smokers and the grill this day and age, and cast iron for that matter. You're a little cast iron, aficionado, aren't
Bro,
you?
I will not grill a steak again. The flavor and the texture in
You
the
got me
cast
going that
iron
way.
is, bro, it's the closest thing to a restaurant cook in my opinion. Mike can disagree or agree. I don't know.
I definitely agree. Cast iron is something that definitely isn't utilized enough, and I would say that's one of the best ways to cook a steak.
Little cast iron and a butter based, baby. You're good to go.
I love it. We're about to dial into some delicious Welcome Home beef. Thanks, Will, for coming down and cooking for us.
Thanks, Bo, for having us. Y'all come see us this weekend.
Will Sanders, Welcome Home Beef on Main Street. If you're up there today, well, anytime, but today, I know a lot of you are going ahead and going up to your condos and houses, all that stuff. Today, tomorrow, or Saturday, Welcome Home Beef. I got about 15 seconds. You got some?
Yeah, one more thing. We're going to be open this Sunday from 10 to 3 with cooler bags and ice.
Nice.
So if you guys, after the game, stop by and grab it, and we'll have your meat ready to go in a cooler bag and ice to take home.
Bam. Welcome Home Beef will also be open Sunday on Main Street from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Thanks to Will Sanders and the Welcome Home Beef crew. We will see you tomorrow. It'll be Football Friday on the Out of Bounds Show.